This is another Zoomer Times TV show. We have wonderful guests, and they're different. They're not all the same. By the way, I'm going to say hello, hello. And our guest today is Roberta Hladek, and she's calling in from Las Vegas. And Roberta does something that's unique, and that's why I really am very fond of her. We've been working with her for many years, with her and her partners, and so I'd like to ask Roberta, for those of you who've never heard her before, and you can go online and put in AIM program and Roberta Hladek, and you will see a lot of the interviews, and also interviews with her partner who is now deceased. But it's a unique program that is so beneficial in today's world especially. So good morning, and thank you for being with us, Roberta.
Well, good morning. It's good to be here with you all.
So what I said to Roberta is, if you were to make a elevator speech, and I think most people know that, what that is it's a speech that if you were in an elevator, you only have a certain amount of time to get down from up, or up, down from up, whatever. What would you tell people that you are so excited about, and why you get up every morning, and what your passion is?
Oh, that would probably take me a little longer than an elevator speech, but to put it in a nutshell, as Stephen used to say, I would probably say that what makes me want to get up in the morning is the work that I do, and that I'm helping people. Wish I could help more people, and wish more people would be on the program, but that's what the program does, is it helps us to be the best person we can be, to be the happiest, the healthiest, the more spiritual, the more conscious. And consciousness, I think, is something we could all use a little bit more of, because it allows us to be more respectful. It helps us to be more kind, more caring, and thinking about others a little more than just ourselves. I think we've become a little bit selfish in our society these days. And a lot of, I don't think the young people have learned respect for their elders. So that's my little thing. But the AIM program helps us to remove hereditary dispositions that allow us to become the person that we're on this planet to be, and to find the path that we're supposed to be on. A lot of people might say, well, I'm on my path. I'm a CPA, I'm a lawyer, whatever. I'm doing what I think I should be doing. And maybe they have, but there's some people that really haven't found their true potential, their true path. And that's
yes, that's good. That's good. And you know, it's scientific. That's what I think we have to say. There are a lot of people who are philosophers, and there are people who are counselors, and they're coaches. But what it does, and what her company does really, is uses science. It's science-based, and there have been many results that have been proven. So this isn't just la la land.
Right. And we've used, and we have mentored from people that have passed, but they were scientists like Einstein, Neil Bohr. There's a few others that escape my mind right now that Stephen was very into. And he used to read all their books, and he kind of adopted some of their ways of thinking and trying to find these frequencies. And his whole passion was to not have to go to the doctor all the time, or not have to do certain things, to be able to live your life the best you could and the easiest way you could. So that's why we developed the AIM program, because people didn't have to go into the office. When we were practicing as homeopaths. He was a chiropractor and a naturopath. And his whole idea was people kept coming back. And he's like, I didn't do my job if you had to keep coming, which isn't the best business profile that you should have, or business plan, I should say. So anyway, his whole thing was to have all these frequencies being sent to you by way of your photograph, so that you didn't have to come in, you didn't have to take a remedy, make it as easy as possible because we're all super busy, we're all doing things. We don't have the time a lot of times to do these things. We make time because we have to, but if we didn't have to, we would have time for other things. So that's kind of what his philosophy was too.
That's very well said, and it's a big, long subject, and so I think you did a good job. We got to this 200th floor, but it's okay. It was good. But you see, I have recently had some people talking about Einstein, and there have been some books that they've referred to, and I never really knew much about Einstein, other than, we know he was a scientist and he came up with many theories. But he was quite an interesting man. He actually had he was quite a philosopher also.
Yes, he was. Before I left California, I think it was Santa Monica, somewhere in there, they had a tribute to Einstein, and you could go into the Skirball Center and you could see this whole display of all of Einstein, and it went on for, you could spend hours there. They had books about him, they had photos of him, sayings that he had, because he was very, he had a lot of quotes and things, and a lot of them we use when we make posts and things. We always tribute to Einstein. And that's why our company is Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, or EMC squared. So we have adopted him too. But he was really kind of a funny guy too. He had a great sense of humor.
Oh.
When you see the pictures of him riding the bicycle, he was an odd guy as well. But most scientists are a little odd. They'd have to be, right? So,
yeah, right. He had that funny head of hair.
Yes, he did. And he wasn't like the sharpest dresser, I don't think. But very interesting. It was really a fun thing to go see, because I had never really, I knew who he was, studied him a little bit, but I really didn't know a lot about him. So I went to this place, and they had this big tribute to Einstein. I don't know if it's still there. It was, it's probably just one of those things that stays for a few months and moves on. But it was so interesting.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of us really do know that much about him, but I think you've encouraged me when I get off the show. I'm going to look him up on, on something, and I'm going to, Wikipedia or other things. I never really read a book by him. I have to assume he wrote books.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done much, but he is one of the interesting people during our time, I think. And I don't remember when he was born, but was he born before the 1900s? No, I don't think so. About the 1900, right?
No, I'm not sure. I can Google him and
That's
find
okay.
out.
No, but I was interested that you and Stephen and your group felt that he was someone you wanted to really work from, because he had all the science that you were looking for, and then that you even did even put the energy as part of your symbol. Well, let's get back to prove to people. I have been on AIM for many years. My pets have been on AIM, but I have had people asking me, how do you get all this energy? How do you do this? I've had a lot of natural energy, but I think that since I've been on AIM, it has really kept me from getting cancer, from getting a lot of things. And how do you do that with people? Why don't you explain that to our watchers?
Well, what we do, and I have you complete an application and send it in to us, a photograph, and then we process the information and we put you on what we call our trays. And our trays are, if you go to our website, which is aimprogram.com, you can see a short little video which I show the trays and the photographs, so you can see what we're talking about when we talk about trays. But they're these large metal sheets, and we put the photographs on those sheets, and they're connected to a main computer system which sends all these frequencies that we have within a computerized system, which then vibrates these trays. And you might say, well, why does it vibrate? Well, because each one of us is vibrating at a particular speed or
Yes.
energy. We're all like little, if you think about like an aura picture, a lot of people have seen aura pictures, and they're all different colors, but it's just matter that you're looking at. That's
Yeah.
kind of like look like, even though in our bodies we don't, we see each other as a person or whatever. We don't see us as a group of molecules. But on the trays, we match our vibration to the vibrations on the trays, and we obliterate any negative vibrations to keep us in a balance. So that's kind of how the trays work. So when you talk about that you're feeling good, your energy's good, well, when we're feeling great, we're listening, like it's like listening to music. If you listen to some types of music, you go, ugh, I don't like that music, or that doesn't make me feel good. But then you listen to something else and it brings you back maybe to a time in your life when it was really happy, or something happened at that time, or, whatever. You just feel good about a particular type of music. That's kind of like the vibrations that we feel on the trays. We match those vibrations and it brings us into a balance, and it makes us, allows us to be more spiritual, more conscious, healthier, happier. And when we raise our vibration, it also helps our immune system. And in these times with this virus that's out and about, and now we're coming up on flu season and they've got us all scared to death that we're all going to get all of this stuff. Well, we lower our immune system with worry, being scared, also, which is not feeling well. So when we raise our vibration, it also raises our system. And our immune system is very important so that we can ward off different things that are coming in the air, or, things that happen, whatever. We can kind of deal with them in a more positive way. Then instead of reacting to them, we can kind of process it and decide how we're going to deal with it. So that's kind of how the AIM program works. We have more an easier day maybe, and maybe less ups and downs, and more of a steady flow, I guess you could say. Not meaning that we're never going to have a bad day and we're never going to catch a cold or a flu. But like we always say, it's how long did you have that cold or flu? Did you get over it quickly, or did you hang on to it for a while? So that's kind of where the AIM program comes in to help us with our immune system.
So for those of you who want more information, please write this down. It's easy. aimprogram.com. aimprogram.com, and you'll see exactly what Roberta Hladek has been telling you about. And I just had my flu shot. I mean, I still take precaution. I still try to eat properly and do the things I'm supposed to, but everybody needs a little extra. And, we all know it's hard for us to believe that I'm electrical and Roberta's electrical and Dan, our administrator's electrical, but we all look different. We wonder, how's that possible? Well, if you looked inside a body, that's all we really would. What do they say? We're a spirit with a body, something like that.
That's definitely
right. So people have to understand this, and so if you join the AIM program, like thousands have done, it's an extra bonus for you, because as Roberta said, it doesn't mean you're never going to get sick or something, but it will certainly defend you and protect you from a lot of things. And Roberta has been very helpful to a lot of people, especially people, kids, or regular people, I guess, who are autistic or they have Down syndrome, because that's all part of the electricity in a body. Something's just gone wrong, I guess, right, Roberta?
Absolutely. Try to help those folks with our program that we have, which is free if we detect the frequency in them. And we put them on the program, and we've had such terrific results with these folks. And it's helping them to express themselves. A lot of times with the autism, those folks aren't able to express how they're feeling or what's going on within them. They're very bright. these folks. And so our program has been able to help them kind of come out of that shell. And a lot of them are being able to graduate from high school. They've been going on to college. They're getting married. They're living the quote unquote normal life, whatever that is, but they're able to be more present in today's world. So it's been really, really helpful and such a blessing to the parents. Some of the parents and the guardians of these folks, it's a real, it's a difficult position because you want the best for your kids and for your families. So it's been, it takes a toll on any family when someone is autistic and they're trying to help them because they search for everything. But we found that the AIM program has been really helpful to a lot of these folks.
Well, I'm going to ask a strange question. When you get on the computer and you see something like that, does it flash? What does it do? What does it do electrically that you can see something? Let's say someone, you get them on the AIM program, you didn't know that they were autistic. What makes you see that they are autistic?
Well, I don't find someone autistic unless they've asked to be checked for the autistic frequency to be put on the program. But when I'm just checking generally someone, there's a graph on my computer that has a high sound and then it has a lower sound.
Oh.
Sound, it's a positive. It's a really higher, goes all the way up. It's kind of like a meter, and the meter goes all the way to 100 or it goes halfway. And when it goes halfway, it's positive. If it goes all the way to 100, it's a negative, meaning they don't have it or they do are. So that's how what I find in them or what I don't find.
You know, when someone joins, you put them on a scale, and it's their power. It's like from 0 to 100. What does that look like?
Well, that's the life force, and the life force is a graph, and I go from like 0.0001. I go all the way up to 100. And so I test the person that I'm working with to see where their initial life force is. Is it 0.004? Is it 0.005? Or is it 1? Is it 98? Whatever it happens to be where they start. And most people start off at a 0.0004. That's pretty much what I've seen a lot. I've had some come across my desk lately that have been a 0.1. And then animals are usually a lot higher.
Really?
Dogs and cats that are usually about 97, somewhere right in there.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I kind of think it's because they have no, nothing, they don't think about, you know, what's going on in the world maybe, or I don't know. They are, you know, animals just love us unconditionally, right? They have no idea about anything. So I think nothing's been added to their brains yet. Maybe they don't react to things that are going on in the world. They're just reacting to us as their mates. So we're either their, you know, they're always happy to see us, right? No matter what. If we're in a good mood, bad mood, we look great, we don't look great, they don't care. They're just
feed me, right? Just feed me and walk me.
Exactly. Like my cat wakes me up in the morning for milk. He loves cream. I give him a little cream every morning, and it's like every morning now he's getting up earlier and earlier.
If you put it on your face, he'd lick your face, wouldn't he?
Oh gosh, probably.
So getting back though to the program, so what if someone comes on the program and they did not know that they had cancer or some, you know, disease? Would you be able to detect that?
I don't usually. What I'm looking for when someone comes on the program, because we aren't physicians, and I cannot confirm or deny a medical diagnosis because what we're doing is on a more spiritual level. So when I'm testing someone, when they come on the program, I'm testing only their life force. But as time goes on and I'm testing, I'm looking to see what frequencies are they balancing at this moment in time. So what hereditary dispositions are we looking at? And those are frequencies that we have added to the program. And so I do a binary search. And then again, the graph either goes low, meaning it's positive, or higher, meaning it's negative. And then I let them know what frequency number that is. And they can, we tell them what areas of the body it may be affecting and what the emotion that's associated with those, with that frequency is. Because, you know, with any type of maybe not feeling well or whatever, you always have an emotional side to it. I know for myself, if I'm catching something a couple of days before I get it, I'm totally overwhelmed with the easiest things to do, right? I have to do payroll, I have to do this and this, and I'm like going, how am I going to get all this done? So then I write a list, and then I have to think to myself, well, I'm writing a list for the things that I do every day. I must be coming down with something. You know, it might be, you know, maybe I'm just feeling a little off today, whatever it happens to be. So then I kind of, it's my check step to myself then to go, well, you know, maybe I need to get a little more rest, maybe take a little more vitamin C or whatever it is that makes me, you know, feel better. Get a chai tea. Chai tea is my go-to thing whenever I'm not feeling
What's it
well.
called? What kind of tea?
Chai tea, C-H-A-I, chai.
Oh, chai tea. Okay. Oh, so that's helps people. That helps you.
You know, one time, his name is Yogi Bhajan, and he's passed away, but he was one of the yogis.
Okay.
He was an amazing, amazing man. When he walked in a room, you felt he was just incredible. And he told me one day that he always had these urns of chai tea outside before people came into worship. And he said he had everyone drink a cup of chai tea. And because of the properties in it, because it has black pepper, which is good for your blood, it has cinnamon and cardamom, it all has properties that help us heal. And he said, whenever you don't feel good, you just drink chai tea, and I guarantee you're going to feel better. And he's absolutely right. So sometimes I'll go to maybe one of the coffee houses and I'll order a chai tea latte and I'll drink that. Sometimes I have it here in the office. I just have chai tea bags. And anytime anybody's not feeling good, my big thing is get a chai tea.
Well, the AIM program should sell this now that you promoted it. I mean, you know, you made a big thing with it. So I'm going to go get some. I'm going to go look that up. I haven't heard of chai tea. I eat a lot. I drink a lot of other kind of tea, but not that.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot that you can get in the store in tea bags, or you can go to, you know, Starbucks, Coffee Bean, Pete's Coffee
Really?
House. They all have them. So sometimes when I'm traveling, if I'm, you know, been traveling and you got a little bit of jet lag and you need to be, you know, a little bit more spot on, I'll go get a chai tea. And within probably about half an hour, I'm feeling back to normal.
Thank you. Well, that was a great help today on your show. That's what we always look for, to get things like that. You know, when we look at, you know, some people love to go and have their palms read, and they go to people who they feel they are channeled. And I've always believed that there's a certain energy that that person has. And unlike what you do, because you're so scientific in a way, but there is something to that. I can't put my finger on it. Some people, you know, probably misuse it, but I don't know how you feel about that. Isn't that energy too that they're pushing forward?
I think so. Have a way of reading our energy,
Yeah.
and maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but I've gone to palm read. Well, I've gone to a palm read. I've also gone to a couple of psychics at one point in time. A friend of mine was way into all that, and she took me a few times, and it was really interesting just to see. And sometimes it's very general, sometimes it's more specific. But I do believe in it. I think there's some people that have that innate
Yes.
energy in them that they can read our energies. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I know. I mean, I never personally met Stephen, but from all our conversations and all I've done reading about him, I think he had a natural energy.
He did. Very intuitive. He was very scientific in his own way, always searching for the perfect rate, you know, to find all of the frequencies. He always wanted to find all of the frequencies so that we wouldn't have to worry about anything, which, you know, he always said we're works in progress, but we were always trying to find that.
Works in progress. Well, yeah, and the one thing he always used to say, you all cannot heal someone. People have to heal themselves. Why don't you talk about that?
Well, yeah, he said that you cannot give away your power to someone else to heal you. You can heal yourself, whatever is within you. And that's when I'm testing. And when he was testing, he used to always say, I'm just reading what you're letting me read out of you. I don't know what's wrong with you. I can't tell you what's wrong with you. I'm just reading you through the computer, which is then bringing it to me in English so I can read it. So that's what the AIM program does. When I'm testing someone's photograph, I'm testing them to see what are they wanting me to see? What is wrong? What's going on with you? Because deep inside of us, and we always believe this, that we really know what's right or wrong with what's going on. We know.
Yep, that is true. People do have to examine. Yeah. They do know their own body, but sometimes they're afraid too. Well, and another question I was thinking. So let's say someone gives you a picture. They gave you a picture 10 years ago, and now they give you another picture. Would the essence still be there just because they look different or things have happened in their life? Is it always going to be the same?
Anytime we look at a photograph, whether it's today or you when you were a baby, you could have been 2 years old, we'll still get the same reading no matter what. Because your picture is unique. It's like your fingerprint. It doesn't change. Your energy is there. You are a particular energy. You might have different energy from one moment to the next depending on your emotional state. But as far as your basic energy, we can look at it, a picture of today and a picture of you younger. We're going to get the same reading today, whatever one we look at. So that's the same. And it's like we had identical twins that came in, and we were checking their, and we could tell the difference between one twin and the other twin by their frequencies, because one had hereditary frequencies from the parent that the other one did not get. And so it's kind of like my family, you know, there's 7 of us, and each one of us had some hereditary dispositions the same, but then the other half didn't have the same ones. So we kind of had a mix from each side of our family. So
yeah, that's it's so clever. And so every morning when you get up and you have to go into your office, I bet you're amazed some days. So before you even start, you just feel it. Something's going to happen that's going to be so positive today. I'm going to find something I've been looking for.
Well, some days you wake up and it's like a blind has been opened or lifted or whatever you want to call it. And it's like everything is very clear to me. And I'll go, oh, that's what I've been looking for. And I'll go in and start and all of a sudden something that I'm trying to figure out comes up on the screen, and I'll get it added to the program. And a lot of times I'll get an email from someone, or we'll get a phone call and they'll say, I'm feeling 100% today. That's so great. So it makes me feel when I know that I am able to help someone feel better, whatever it happens to be that's going on with them. Because we all have things going on in our lives. And if I can make a little bit better for that day, that's all keep me going.
One minute.
Okay, so we're almost out of time.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna have to wrap this up, but I always learn so much when you're on. It seems like we've been doing it a long time. It's like, what are we gonna talk about today? But it always works that way, and that's
We always,
probably part of the AIM program, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and so of course I just had my flu shot, and I'm being very careful. As much as I feel protected from what you do. I don't take any chances either. So I want you to
No.
do the same, and I want you to just keep being as beautiful and good as you are. And until next time, thank you for being on today.
Well, thank you for having me. I feel great.
Yeah, Roberta Hladek. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.